Welcome to Classic Car Cave. So I've taken the E-type around the corner to go off the ramp, and I put the XJ6 on it because I want to check that these wheels actually fit, and more specifically fit the calipers and everything else. So I've already broken the wheel studs before I lifted it, so I'm going to take it off now and see what we've got. Yeah, I know it's an old-fashioned spider, but I've got air guns, but can't be bothered setting them all up, the noisy compressor. And these work just as well. So, the moment of truth, we'll see if it works. It should, they're XJS wheels and they should fit the same. Wow, they're long, them studs. My God. Massive. Really long. Hang on. I have to check these tyres, because if this hasn't been serviced, I did speak to Martin, who owned the car, and he can't remember the last time it was serviced, so chances are it's got to be a good 7 or 8 years, if not longer. But because of the rear crankshaft seal leak, it's probably been topped up enough that's almost changed the oil. But the issue I've got with the car right now is this originally is a 1970 2.8, and I would imagine it was probably auto. The engine that's in it is from the period, I believe it's a 72, 71 possibly. But it's a different engine. It's the 4.2, obviously with a manual or 5-speed box overdrive, and the diff has been done as well. I know this because I actually took Amir and I took the IRS out of this and rebushed it all, and the diff was done at the same time. So that's why I know the car so well. So let's see if this goes on. Unfortunately, I don't have the center caps, but they should go on. And the answer is, they don't. Bollocks. They don't fit the caliper. Or there's something wrong. No, they are not going on. Ah, that is a problem. Bugger. Ah, there you go. So I bought them for nothing. So you are seeing it warts and all. Damn. I have to find somebody who's got an XJS now. There's obviously something badly. Let me turn this on. Do it that way. It's obviously the what's catching. Oh, it's not the it's the holes, so the alignment is wrong. So it's not catching the, I thought it was catching the caliper. It's not. Well, where is it catching? The offset must be wrong. Bugger! Well, I'm glad I didn't go to the trouble of putting a tyre on it. Where is it catching? Ah, it's here. The offset is wrong. Damn. Well, okay, what I'll do is I'll just get a caliper out and just measure this. I think it's this upset here that's wrong. Looking at the size of that hole and the size of this one, and I'm afraid there's not really a lot I can do about that. Yeah, I can see where it's catching here. I have to see how much it is. Anyway, I'll get back to you once I've measured them. That's very disappointing. I thought they would go straight on, but maybe because this is a Series 1 1970 car, the hub assembly is a little bit different. And basically where the problem is there's an upset on the housing, on the stub axle. And what that would mean is the wheels are the same size, the holes are the right size, but it won't go back onto the flange of the disc, or it won't go back flush. It's probably about 2 or 3 centimeters. Sorry, 2 or 3 mil. It needs to go back further. Now I don't know if there's enough meat on these alloys to actually just put them on a machine and cut them out, because it's only 2.3 mil of a taper I'd need to put on it to make the wheels fit. Whether that's allowed or not, I'm not sure. They do seem quite meaty, and as you can see, they would look quite nice. Okay, there's no tyre on it, but this is why I wanted to check. I didn't want to go to the thing of putting the tyres on and then they don't fit. That would be really dumb. So there is a possibility. What I need to do now is, it's not fouling the caliper, which is what I was concerned about. I didn't think there'd be a problem going on, but obviously these are from an XJS or a later series, maybe a Series 3 car, I don't know. But certainly because of that upset, they won't go on. But the amount, as I say, we need to take off is 2.3. So there's basically, it's what is it, so it's 4.6 millimeter difference. But if you half that, because obviously you're taking half the circle out. So I'll see if that's possible to do that, to put them into a machine and have them skimmed. There seems like there's quite a bit of meat there, and then we'll go from there. If that's not possible, then they'll have to be sold on. And if needs be, what I'll do is I'll get these wheels painted in the same colour as the body, Old English white, and I'll just put the chrome hubcap back on it. And then get the chrome embellisher which goes around the edge of the wheel, and just have it Old English white inside the wheel, and obviously when the body's done as well. Now I mention Old English white because I thought about this quite a bit, and I talked to my wife about it. Initially I was thinking to do it in the same colour as the E-Type Jaguar, opalescent silver grey. But that would mean having every shut line done, I'd have to take the doors off, the bonnet's got to come off anyway to be repaired. But for the price of the car, it's really not worth doing a complete strip down. It just isn't financially worth it. The car is really nice. I'd like to have it as a runaround, but a runaround that's a cheap enough runaround that I have to worry too much about where I park it, or, you know, shopping trolley dinks, whatever. The problem I had with my E-Type, I put such a lot of time and money and effort into it that there was this constant thing on my mind about, oh, is somebody going to scratch? Is somebody going to lean over it? And yeah, you don't need that constant worry because of the cost of the car. So what I'm thinking is, you know, we could easily refresh the paint on this car, rub it back down, of course, refresh it, but leave it in the white that it is originally. And that would save taking the engine and the gearbox out. Maybe leave that for a later period if anything else went wrong. Unfortunately, they've also cut louvers on the inside wing on the other side, so they would have to be put back. But that's easy enough done. We can hammer and dolly them out and just re-weld them up and clean it up and paint where necessary. So that's the situation. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'll put this wheel back on. Now I know what the situation is. I'll take the pit jack, take it to the back, jack that up and check the back ones just to make sure that they will actually work, and then see if it is possible to take that 2.3 mil. So this is what we're talking about, that kind of distance. It's not a lot, as you can see there, but that's it, it's 2.3 mil. If that's possible to do, then it's possible to use them, because the actual diameter of the wheel is exactly the same. It's 42 centimeters, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know about the the depth of the wheel, but I'm pretty sure these tyres would probably go back on. The problem I have now is I need to take one of these tyres down on Monday and just see how old they are, because I have a feeling they're probably well sort of 10, 12 years old, which if they are, they're beyond their time now, and I would probably have to get a new set. But obviously, chicken before the egg, make sure I can get these wheels to be used first, and if not, as I say, I'll go back to the original ones and put the chrome embellisher on them. So let's have a look at the back and see what problems we have there. As you can see on the back, it's not a problem, but obviously all four wheels would have to be done, because if you take a spare with you, I mean the spare, I've only got 4 of these wheels anyway, so the spare would be the one that was on the car, but if you had to change it back to front or whatever, you'd be in trouble, so I'd have to have all 4 done. But they do fit completely and they flush up against the back, so that's good news. I've just checked the tyres, they look like they're from 07-22, so if that's the case, because they look in really good condition, even the pimples are still on them, if that's the case, then what is it, 25, they're only 3 years old, so and I'm pretty sure they will fit on these rims anyway, and if they don't, then I'll just use them as backups anyway, if I can get this done. So that's the situation at the moment, and as I said, I think there's enough meat on them. There is a taper on these wheels on the inside, on the aluminium, which is already 2.4 mil, so taking that extra little piece out shouldn't be an issue, because there's already a taper on them. It just needs the rest taken out up to where that front hub is, but all 4 would have to be done the same, and I will check with the tyre people that, or the wheel people, that it's possible to do that. It's aluminium, they shouldn't be difficult to skim. I've got a friend who has a lathe and he could skim them down for me, I'm absolutely sure about it. And I think they'd look really nice on it. And I can even do them in the black. Normally these would be black here, but I can do those at any time, just you know, just mask them out and paint them in. And against the white, the silver, and it might look nice against, you know, with the silver and black. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just, you can see all these door handles are very stiff because they're just not being used. That's it now. But this is a real problem here. This has got to be full of putty, because there's supposed to be a line there right the way across, which there isn't. And you can see the shades. That wing is definitely a different colour from that. Completely different colour, so that wing's been done. And these arches seem pretty good to me, but we'll see. Once we get to a point where mechanically it's right, we'll start rubbing it down and just see how much filler is actually in it. There's certainly a lot there and here. I have no doubt that that's really gummed up in there. And this wing is quite good. The one on the other side is in a terrible condition. Somebody's put some filler in it and just painted over the top. I mean, how anybody can look at that and think that's half a job or any kind of job, I do not know. But there we go. I guess there's different levels of what people think is reasonable or not. But like I say, they do fit on, so as long as I did the same on all 4 wheels, there shouldn't be an issue. And I'll let you know in the future if that's the case. I'll talk to my wheel people, ask them what they think, if it's safe, and then we'll go from there. So on that note, as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and let me know what you think. I think these will look really nice on it, but also the old ones with the chrome embellisher might look just as nice. I don't know. Let me know what you think anyway. Take care everybody, be good to each other.